Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the January 27th, 2026 Board of Police Commissioners meeting. We acknowledge that we are on traditional lands of the Treaty 4 territory, a treaty signed with 35 First Nations across southern Saskatchewan and parts of Alberta and Manitoba, and the original lands of the Cree, Saulteaux, Dakota, Nakota, Lakota, and on the homeland of the Métis Nation. The City of Regina owes its strength and vibrancy to these lands and the diverse Indigenous peoples whose ancestors' footsteps have marked this territory, as well as settlers from around the world who continue to be welcomed here and call Regina home. Please note that all board members present have taken their oath of office for 2026. In the absence of a chair and vice chair, I would like to call the meeting to order. The first order of business is to appoint a chair for 2026. Could I have nominations for chair, please? Yes?
After speaking to the mic, I'd like to put myself forward as for chair.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Mr. Nowosielski?
I'll put my name forward as well, thank you.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Okay. With more than one person running for the chair, each has an opportunity to briefly comment on why they would like to be appointed as chairperson. So, since you put your hand up first, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. After the first year being on the board, obviously learning a lot. From what we've gone through and the direction the organization is heading, I think it would be helpful to have some consistency going forward. And I think from my perspective, being nominated as the spokesperson for the board, I think that it would be efficient as well as prudent in my role as chair of council to be also use that skill set here as on the board of police. So again, just the way, the direction that we're going and the style that I'd like to carry forward from council to provide consistency as well as a spokesperson for the board itself, I think that skill set would lend itself to chairing this board.
Thank you. Mr. Nowosielski?
Thank you. I'll keep things short. I've dedicated more than 12 years to the field of law enforcement and public safety, and have completed graduate studies in leadership, management, and criminal justice. I've also contributed over 10,000 volunteer hours to the community organizations that I've served across the various communities that I've lived in, giving me a deep understanding of the issues facing our residents. As the longest serving member of the board and its last vice chair, I'm committed to providing continuity, stability, and thoughtful guidance. I'd be honored to continue leading the important work of the board as we support and strengthen a truly transformative police service and continue the work that we've long started. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm passing out ballots for a secret ballot, so if the board members can please fill in the name. Congratulations, Mayor Brzezinski. You have been appointed chair of the board. Could you please take the chair next to you? And the script is there. The next order of business is to nominate a vice chair.
Okay, well, thank you for that, and thank you, Robert. I think it's good democracy at play. So with that, can I have nominations for vice chair, please?
I'd like to nominate Mr. Nowosielski.
Okay. Would you let your name stand?
I will let it stand, thank you.
Okay, any other nominations for vice chair? Okay. Seeing no other nominations, congratulations, Robert. You are appointed vice chair
Appreciate it, thank you.
for the Board of Police for 2026. Okay, so we'll move on to the regular meeting. Can I have a motion to approve the public agenda? And meet. I'll call the question. Any opposed? That is carried. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting held on December 10th, 2025? Mr. Bailey, any errors or omissions? Actually, we should have somebody who was here for that meeting, I think. I'll get Councillor Radens. Thank you. I'll call the question. Any opposed? And carried. Our first report is PO 26-1, Crime Reduction Team Report. And Chief Davies, I'll get you to introduce the report, please.
Certainly. Good morning. Well, congratulations, Mr. Mayor, Commissioner Nowosielski, on your appointments for 2026. And certainly on behalf of the service, we want to extend welcome to our new board members this year who are joining us, and we look forward to a productive year of oversight. So our first report is the Crime Reduction Team report. The Crime Reduction Team is funded by the province of Saskatchewan, and we thought it would be helpful and timely to have a report about the work that they're doing in our community. And Staff Sergeant Rob DeAndrea will present that report this morning.
Good morning. My name is Staff Sergeant Rob DeAndrea, Regina Police Service. I am in charge of our gang unit, our drug unit, and our CRT, which is our crime reduction team, essentially our firearms team. So the purpose of the CRT is it's a provincially funded specialized investigative unit focused primarily on firearms and firearm-related crime. CRT is composed of 2 sergeants, 7 constables, and 1 crime analyst. Funding has been provided by the province of Saskatchewan since 2021 through the Ministry of Community Safety. CRT fills a critical gap that previously existed in Regina. There was no dedicated firearms investigative unit prior to its creation. So what they did before that is they basically worked on the guns and the drugs angles, but firearms is always connected to those, so that's why we thought we needed a specialized team just to go out for the firearms. So why were they needed? And Regina has experienced a sustained increase in firearm-related offenses over the last several years. Firearms offenses present very high risk to the public safety, often connected to violent crime and organized criminal activity. So the strategic shift took place in 2021 when they intentionally pivoted from drug enforcement to firearms investigations only. This shift allowed a more direct public safety impact, specialized expertise in trafficking, manufacturing, importation, and illegal possession of firearms. Firearms and drug crimes are often interconnected, like I said. CRT work disrupts both markets. So they have a really good track record since their evolution. They evolved from earlier provincial funded teams such as CFSEU, ICRT, and then now they are just CRT. Unlike past integrated models, CRT now consists solely of Regina Police Service members, allowing stronger community-specific focus, increased accountability and efficiency, and they're now recognized as the leading firearms investigative unit in Saskatchewan. They are very highly trained, very highly motivated. These investigators are trained in complex firearms investigations, including firearms trafficking networks, illegal manufacturing, which includes 3D printed guns and homemade firearms, straw purchasing schemes, and cross-border firearm importation, which has become quite a problem in the last couple months to the last year. CRT continually adapts to changing federal firearms legislation and emerging trends. This expertise is shared with frontline officers, which strengthens the service-wide capacity for firearms. We have a strong partnership in our community. We operate within a robust intelligence sharing network, including Canadian and U.S. law enforcement agencies, border enforcement and firearms tracing experts, provincial and national crime reduction teams. We work really closely with ATF, CBSA, Homeland Security, NWest, National Firearms Tracing Center, the RCMP, Saskatchewan Firearms Office, and SCAN. These partnerships enable complex, multi-jurisdictional investigations that would otherwise not be possible. We also have a dedicated firearms crown, which is a critical success factor in this program. In 2021, CRT successfully advocated for a dedicated firearms prosecutor. This resulted in early and ongoing collaboration during investigations, faster identification of investigative gaps, improved evidence quality and documentation, and stronger prosecutions and longer sentences for people who are manufacturing and trading in firearms. CRT Crown relationship has become a best practice model across the country now. Improved firearms processing and court readiness. CRT works really closely with the NWest and trained RPS members to ensure firearms are tested, cataloged, and certified promptly. Evidence meets court standards without delay. This reduces charter risks, case dismissals due to procedural delays. The result is more reliable for court outcomes and stronger accountability. So right now there's some emerging firearm threats that are happening within the country and within Regina specifically. We're actively addressing new and growing threats, including illegally imported U.S. handguns following legislative changes, 3D printed firearms, personally made firearms using household or mechanical parts, modified airsoft and pellet guns, and these trends represent a significant and evolving risk in public safety. CRT investigations now focus on supply-side firearm crime, not just possession, and this approach disrupts criminal networks, reduces firearms availability on the streets, and leads to more meaningful sentences. CRT's work directly contributes to community safety and public confidence. CRT is almost entirely provincially funded, minimizing financial impact to the city. There are no environmental implications. Strategically, CRT aligns with public safety priorities, violent crime reduction, and community reassurance and trust. So basically, just the key takeaways is firearm offenses are among the most serious threats to our community, obviously. CRT provides focus, expertise, strong partnerships, and proven results. Continued support ensures Regina remains proactive rather than reactive in addressing firearms-related offenses and violence. And that's it.
Perfect. Thank you for your presentation. Do any members have any questions? Well, I'll ask you one just because I'm curious about, you mentioned 3D printed firearms. What's, I mean, as much as you can share, I guess, what's the thought behind putting a stop to or reducing that impact?
Well, right now, I'm told that most of the 3D printed firearms are just hobbyists, just making them not really for any violent purposes, but obviously they get out there in the community and can cause, harm. Right now, I think what they do is they can only print the top part of the firearm right now, and then they buy the parts online and then can assemble the firearm, is what I'm told. It's not a huge problem right now, but the way the technology is going, that it will be a problem in the future. And these guns, what they look like Nerf guns or toy guns, which is also can be quite dangerous. We don't really know if they're real. We have to respond to them as a police service like they are real. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for that. If there are no other questions, thank you for your presentation today. You can return, and I think I'll ask for a motion to receive and file the report. Ms. Brooks, I'll call the question. Any opposed? And carried. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, next I have PO 26-2, Special Weapons and Tactics SWAT Report. Chief Davies, I'll get you to introduce the report, please.
Thank you. Well, just hearing about the work of CRT, obviously we're seeing an increase of weapons in our community, and with that comes high-risk incidents. So we're really fortunate today to have with us Sergeant Neil Coulthard to talk about our SWAT team. Go ahead, Neil.
Thank you. I'm Sergeant Neil Coulthard. I've been on the SWAT team for, I guess, 15 years now. So right now I'm the tactical team leader. So I have the day job, which is kind of nice for a little bit. So yeah. So basically the Regina Police Service has the SWAT team, operates in the Support Services Division. Right now Full strength for the team is 24 members. We have 23 males and 1 female on the team right now. We have 1 full-time sergeant, which is myself. I look after the day-to-day operations, the training, the equipment, and the budget. We also have the tactical support team. There's 16 members on the tactical support team, so they're full-time. They work 10-hour shifts throughout the week, days and nights. They work patrol, and they also help investigative units. So each team has 1 tactical support sergeant that runs the day-to-day operations of the TST teams. We also have 7 part-time members who are fully trained tactical members, but work in patrol as their main duties. When there's a call for service that maybe the TST members need an extra person, or if the TST members are not working, then they'll be called to handle the situation or at least give good advice. Within the team, we have a lot of equipment and specialties that are needed for our operations. All SWAT members are trained in the same tactics: hostage rescue, armed and barricaded subjects, and vehicle tactics. But we also have other specialties in the team as well. We have 6 snipers, we have 6 tactical rope operators, 6 explosive forced entry members, 3 less lethal and chemical munitions, and then we have our drone operators, who seem to be the busiest people right now, new equipment coming out. Our mandate on the team, basically, when the full team gets called out, we are under the direction of the critical incident commander. They're the ones that authorize how many members we come out and how many we need and all that kind of stuff. Basically, we get called out for any hostage takings, active shooters, armed and barricaded subjects, high-risk warrants, high-risk prisoner transports, and VIP transports. Our tactical support teams, again, we assist patrol with calls for service. So we get dispatched to all priority 1, priority 2 calls for service, including weapons offenses, 911 calls, firearms offenses, warrant service, and suspicious people. But we also assist by taking priority 3 and 4 calls to help out call loads when it's busy out there, and just to help out patrol, basically. We're also available for our investigative units like CRT, use us quite a bit for warrant services, any arrests, high-risk arrests they need, and any vehicle tactics that they might need for us to help them out with. So, our SWAT deployments. So since 2015, our SWAT deployments have increased each year by a lot. In 2023 being one of our busiest and highest calls for service. We had over 50 calls for service just in that year for a full team call out, not including what our part-time people handled in patrol. In 2024, calls went down to 34, but this was the year that the tactical support teams came out as full-time. So basically working the 10-hour shifts, working with patrol. They were able to attend calls for service as soon as they came in. They were able to handle those calls before they escalated into needing to call out the full team or needed more resources. So that brought the calls down for service a little bit, which was nice. In 2025, we had 21 calls for service for full team. This just goes to show the value of the tactical support teams as they're handling a lot of the weapons calls before the full team needs to be called out. And as things escalate. We're also able to assist the investigative units at the same time without having to call the full team in. Our training, we train as a full team every month. We have a 5-day training week 4 times a year. The other 8 months of the year, we have a single training day for the full team, which is a 10-hour day. And then we have an extra training day for the snipers and rappels. The single month days, they have an extra day. And then our EFE operators have additional training 4 days a year, and our drone operators have 1, but it seems like the drone operators are always tinkering with their tech. Even with these assigned training days, our members are always doing stuff on their own with firearms training and I guess updating their knowledge and stuff like that. So that's all I had for you.
Perfect. Thank you, Sergeant Coulthard. Any questions from any members? Yeah, go ahead, Michelle.
Thank you for the report. Is there a minimum amount of years of service that our officers need to have before they join SWAT?
Yeah, so you have to be 3 years as a police officer before you can apply. And then the process of getting on the team is usually about 4 to 5 months, going through various steps.
Thank you. Second question? What is we have a couple of things here, so high-risk incidents, hostage, active shooters. What is the main,
The main,
highest number that you guys go out for?
basically, the highest, I'd say armed and barricaded and warrant service is probably the most things we attend to in a year. So warrant service from our investigative units, gangs, drugs, and CRT seem to be the most that we help them out with. And then obviously the armed and barricaded subjects through patrol. Again, a lot of those are starting to get handled with the tactical support team, but there has been a few this year that we attended for patrol as a full team as well.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you for your presentation, Sergeant. We'll ask-
Chair, if I
yeah.
can just add.
Yeah, go ahead.
Neil downplayed it that SWAT and TST helped the other areas, but just with their presence, the improved confidence and, perception of safety for those members, that they have subject matter experts available to handle armed and barricaded persons, vehicles with subjects who are known to have firearms. You can't say enough about it. So big benefit there, not only for community and public safety, but internally for the membership as well.
Absolutely, and thanks for that additional context, and thanks to you and the team. Okay, can I have a motion to receive and file the report? And meet, thank you. I'll call the question. Any opposed? And carried. Okay, next we will do, we'll move on to, PO 26-3, and we'll do PO 26-4 at the same time. That's the November and December Regina Police Service Monthly Crime Overview. I'll go to you, Chief Davies.
Thank you so much. So you'll recall, because we had our board meeting in December a little bit early, we didn't have the November crime statistics. I'm not going to go into them because we have the December crime stats, which are obviously more current. So throughout the year, we were trending downwards in both crimes against person and crimes against property. And I'm happy to report for the end of the year, in total, crimes against person and crimes against property were down 15.4% for the year, which is a significant decrease over 2024. Crimes against property were down 15.8%, and crimes against the person were down 13.9%. Again, those hotspots that we'd highlighted throughout the year continued to be a little bit of a pressure point for us. Arsons were increased, although total arson increase was 8.1%, which, if you'll recall, towards the start of the year, we were double digits in terms of increases. So we did make some headway in that regard. And then obviously 2025 for homicides were not a good year. We had 11 people in our community who lost their lives at the hands of others. Happy to report that we have laid charges in all of those instances. And so hopefully that is some solace to family members and to community. As previously mentioned, homicides are one of those things that are hard for us to prevent, but certainly having the investigative teams go in as soon as we're aware to hold those people accountable are important for sure for the community. I just want to highlight a couple other year-end statistics. So our aerial support unit responded to over 2,200 calls for service for the year, which resulted in 525 people being charged and over 1,000 charges. So again, we can't speak highly enough of the work of our air support unit in supporting our ground officers. December was not a good month when it came to drug overdoses in the city. We had a high number of incidents, and unfortunately, we had 6 people lose their lives to suspected overdoses. December was high compared to the rest of the year, and you'll recall in media there were a number of drug advisories that were sent out about the presence of dangerous drugs in our community. Again, the work of our drug unit and our CRT teams in terms of getting those drugs out of the city, we continue to have a lot of pressure on those, getting those higher level traffickers. But sometimes if those dangerous drugs do get into the city, it's often with serious consequences for those in our community who are battling addiction issues. On that note, we did transport a number of people to the complex needs facility for the year. And again, that's been a game changer for us in terms of connecting people to support and hopefully getting them on a road to recovery. And we continue to use that facility on a daily basis. I think those are all the things I'd like to highlight, but certainly happy to answer any questions the board might have.
Okay, any questions from board members? Go ahead, Robert.
Just in terms of the overdoses with the spike between November, December, would you attribute that to the change in season or a bad overdose, or sorry, a bad batch of narcotics or something different altogether by chance?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's just those high potency drugs that find their way into our community can have a huge impact on just a small amount of time. I don't think there's anything sort of weather related that I can speak to, but certainly, unfortunately, just if those in our community are, lacing those drugs, or there's something in them that's in many instances making Narcan not work, to be able to reverse the effects of the drugs. And then obviously for first responders, that gives us minimal resources in order to save someone's life. So I think it speaks more to the potency of the drugs and not anything else really that we're aware of.
Perfect, thank you. I think we're seeing similar kind of things in Saskatoon as well, or have been for some time. Thank you.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Manmeet.
Just want to highlight, been following some of the news and the great work that has been possible due to the support from the aerial support unit. That has been a game changer, especially with regards to not having to chase high-speed vehicles. The chases are down, etc. Do you want to highlight how we are looking forward to 2026 being better, given that ASU is working properly this year, or has worked a lot of hours this year, and we are looking forward to 2026 being the year that it'll be in the sky?
Absolutely. Well, we did have some troubles with our plane last year that kept them grounded for a number of hours, and so we are looking forward to having them up in the air a little bit more. You'll notice that the December hours were down a little bit compared to previous months, but that is weather related. We had a lot of fog, and so they weren't able to fly. But certainly, I've highlighted before the importance our patrol officers and our investigative units value the aerial support unit when they're up in the air. If they are potentially initiating a traffic stop where they think that there's a potential that the person might flee, they let ASU know before they do that so that they can get eyes on the location. One of the things on this chart you'll see is 205 ground trips saved, and that means that ASU was able to resolve a call without us dispatching patrol units. So that's really saving time for our patrol officers and freeing them up for calls that do need their response. So I know when we first floated out the idea of aerial support unit a number of years ago, I think even within the building, there were people saying, I'm not sure this is going to, if we need it. I would say you could canvass our folks now and it would be 100% saying thank you for the investment. It really is changing the way we do business.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Michelle.
Quick clarification here on I'm looking at the drug overdoses page here by location. Is there a simple way to explain the 3 locations in Regina of Central, South, and North? Is there an easy border? Because I'm thinking we have more than 3 locations.
For sure.
city.
So we divide the city into 3 districts geographically, and that allows us to basically assign officers to a specific area. So North District is basically anything north of the tracks at Dudney, for the exception of North Central area. Central District includes North Central, downtown, and the Heritage Community Association. And then South is actually the rest of the city. So geographically, North and South are quite large, and Central District is a little more concentrated, but we do see sort of an equal number of calls amongst the 3 different districts, even though they are geographically different in size. And so that accounts for the location, and you'll see Central District obviously has quite a higher number of overdoses compared to the other 2, and I think that just speaks to some of the challenges in our community. We know that folks that have complex issues, are vulnerable, tend to be around North Central, Heritage, downtown, because that's where services are that they can access. And so we do see clearly a number of more overdoses in this central district.
Thank you for that explanation.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, can I have a motion to receive and file the reports? Councillor Radens, thank you. I'll call the question. Any opposed? And carried. With that, can I have a resolution for private session, please? Ben Meat. I'll call the question. Any opposed? And carried. So we will recess for 20 minutes and we will reconvene for private session and the media scrum. Thanks, everybody.